America's status as one of the fattest countries in the world could soon also belong to New Zealand. According to some medical experts, a dozen specialists have penned an open letter that highlights the looming health crisis, with more than a third of New Zealand children now overweight. That puts us in the same obesity bracket as the US, which the experts say will push the country's healthcare expenditure out of control. Health researcher Louise Signal was the lead writer of that letter, and she says the problem requires urgent action.
We think that 60% of New Zealanders are overweight or obese, and over 30% of our children are overweight or obese. We understand that when you are an obese child, it's very difficult to change that, and so obese children normally become obese adults. And it's really critical for us, we think, to take some action in this area.
How much bigger are we as a nation than we were, say, 20 years ago?
We estimate that something in the vicinity of 7 kilograms.
Is your biggest concern surrounding obesity amongst adults or children?
We're particularly concerned about children because they are in the care of their parents and the care of us as a society, and we need to protect them. So this is a particular area of concern for us, and we think that there's a great deal that we could do to protect our children and, of course, us as adults as well. And in the letter we talk about the requirement to only provide healthy food in schools, and it's our view that we should return to that requirement, which was in place some years ago in New Zealand. The government has had two policies. One was to promote healthy eating, and we're delighted that they continue with that policy. It's absolutely essential for our children. But there was another policy that focused on providing only healthy food in schools, and that was removed. And we would really urge, given this new evidence that we have before us about the size of this problem, a reconsideration of that policy.
So does that mean providing kids with their lunch every day?
No, it means a policy that, so my children, for example, who are in primary school, they would only be taking a healthy lunch to school. They would only drink water while they were at school. The tuck shops at secondary schools would sell largely healthy food.
There's been a lot of talk about healthy diets recently, kids going to school without a healthy breakfast, etc. Yes. But we're all feeling the pinch at the supermarket with the high prices of fruit, vegetables and dairy, let alone the pressures of other living costs. So with that in mind, isn't the problem only going to get worse?
We are certainly worried with the economic crisis. It's certainly putting pressure on many families in New Zealand. In our letter we talk about the need to ensure that all beneficiaries get their full and correct benefit entitlement, and that we consider other ways to ensure that the poorest of New Zealand families, the poorest of New Zealand children, have enough money to afford a healthy diet. In our letter we've suggested 9 different strategies that the government and we as a society should consider, and they are ones we've been discussing today, thinking about healthy food in schools, simple food labelling, making sure that poor New Zealanders have enough money to afford to feed their children well, and a raft of other activities, including restricting advertising of junk food to children.
It's a fine line though, really, isn't it? Ministry of Health figures show more and more primary-age children are presenting with eating disorders in the last 4 years. So how do you ensure that the obesity message doesn't become overemphasised?
Yes, that's a very good point. We've done some research recently, and the material that the Ministry of Health and Education produce is very careful to walk that line and does an extremely good job of promoting healthy nutrition, but not pushing children into under-eating.